अगर ब्रेकफास्ट तो सर मैं वो कर Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Humaira Israr. I'm the Commercial Secretary of Pakistan, representing High Commission of Pakistan. We also are joined by His Excellency Dr. Mazhar Javed, High Commissioner of Pakistan to the Southern African region. The today's session is about agriculture, export of agriculture goods and implants to the Southern African region, specifically to the South African market. We're very honored and grateful to Madam Alia Naseem Wali for sparing some time out of her busy schedule and joining us today to educate us the structure of the goods in the market, how are the duties regime, the opportunities and challenges that Pakistani exporters might face in this market. So now I would request His Excellency Dr. Mazhar Javed for his opening welcome remarks. Ji sir, please.
Thank you, Mera. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Right. Thank you, Mera. And I would first of all welcome all our participants today for their participation and highlight one factor to my Pakistani friends, that South Africa is a country which is very, very fertile, not only in the literal sense of the word or the literal fertility of the soil, but also a very fertile country as for exports or trade in agricultural equipment is concerned, because just as one of our colleagues, she was saying, that South Africa has a big edge and advantage of having large tracts of agricultural land. So that is something that makes it a very fertile market for trading in agricultural equipment. Pakistan is one of the important exporters of agricultural equipment. So the compatibility of trade in this area with South Africa is obvious. We started this system of webinar, a series of webinars to promote B2B contacts between the two countries and the two regions. And so far it has been a big success because it focuses on specific sectors, brings the stakeholders from South Africa and the stakeholders in Pakistan together. They can establish their contacts and share the problems or the all kinds of hurdles that may come in the way of our increased trade. So with these opening words, I would now want to listen to our experts. I'm extremely grateful to Madam Alia Naseem Wali for her participation. I've been told how important she is in terms of her in this sector. Also grateful to TDAP in Pakistan, because they would be able to express their views or their narrative on what to import from Pakistan, how to import, and what all opportunities exist over there. Thank you so much. Thanks once again, everybody. And now I would be in listening mode. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your welcome remarks. We are honored that His Excellency Dr. Mazhar Javed has joined us in this session. From the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, I have been joined by Dr. Shumaila Sikandar, who is the Deputy Director, Engineering and Minerals Division. I would now request Dr. Shumaila Sikandar to give her remarks.
Thank you, Kashmala. Am I audible, Kashmala?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you. His Excellency Dr. Mazhar Javed, the High Commissioner of Pakistan to South Africa, Ms. Humaira Israr, DI of South Africa, Honorable Guest Speaker, Ms. Alia Naseem, Shazna traders, and all the worthy participants. I warmly welcome you to the session organized in collaboration with the High Commission to explore opportunities for agricultural machinery exporters in South Africa. The webinar is second in series of similar sessions organized to expand the outreach of our exporters in African countries. Furthermore, it is also intended to apprise our exporters of the market conditions, particularly tariff and non-tariff barriers that might reduce their export growth in these countries. The agricultural machinery is a developing export sector of Pakistan, but one that boasts of immense potential. Our success in achieving more than 90% of indigenization in tractor has spurred export growth in the sector. In the previous year, we have recorded more than 60% increase in our agricultural machinery exports, with the tractor exports reaching an unprecedented level of $47 million. This is no minor feat given that the fact that world trade has suffered a huge blow due to the pandemic. With an export of $2.7 million in fiscal year 2021, South Africa is the 5th largest export destination for Pakistani tractor exporters. There is an immense trade potential between the two countries when it comes to the trade of agricultural machinery. However, this largely remains unexplored. Today's webinar is a collaborative effort to understand the market dynamics in South Africa and to equip our exporters with successful market entry strategies so that they can establish their foothold in targeted markets. The Trade Development Authority of Pakistan extends complete support to facilitate our exporters in approaching the African countries, and it is expected that today's webinar will yield fruitful results. Thank you once again from our side. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Kashmala. Shumaila, thank you so much, Dr. Shumaila, for your comments. Indeed, we're grateful to TTAP. Now, Kashmala, do you want to introduce the participants from Pakistani side, those tractor exporting companies that have joined us today, or will you be giving straight away presentation on the tractor markets in Pakistan?
Yes, ma'am. Some of the major participants that have joined us today include Millet Tractors. Then there is Agripark International. Apart from that, we've also been joined by the Musharraf Farm Industries and some other major tractor exporting countries from Pakistan. So I would now like to give my presentation on the agriculture machinery sector of Pakistan. I will be sharing my screen with you.
Can you share screen? Can you do it? Or should I allow you? Multiple. Now you can do it. Kashmala, you can do it, please.
It has been disabled.
Not disabled. Multiple participants can share simultaneously. You can do it now. Try again, please. Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible to you. Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Ji, we can see.
So basically, my presentation is a brief overview of the agriculture machinery sector of Pakistan. In this presentation, I will discuss about the two major imports and export sectors of Pakistan in terms of agriculture machinery, and that includes our tractors, and secondly, the tools and implements that we are exporting to neighboring countries.
कशमाला, I would request अगर आप अपनी presentation जो है उसको click कर ले तो आपकी screen पर सारी आ जाए, क्योंकि हम वो जो side उस पे दिखाई देते हैं वो तो देख सकते हैं, लेकिन main जो वो है उस पे नहीं आ रही है आपकी slides.
Is it okay now? Is it visible to you now?
Wait, let me see. Am I sharing my screen? G. Somebody said they can see it. Yes.
Yes. So basically, in my presentation, I will be dealing with two major exports of Pakistan in terms of agriculture machinery, and that includes our tractors, and secondly, the tools and implements that Pakistan is exporting to the neighboring countries. As far as the introduction of agriculture machinery sector of Pakistan is concerned, it is an emerging export sector for Pakistan, because Pakistan has been gradually increasing its exports in agriculture machinery, particularly in case of tractors. We have been gradually building up our exports, and we have increased our exports by more than double when we compare it with the numbers from last year. And some state-of-the-art machinery is being manufactured in Pakistan, and we are producing seeders and loaders, etc., which are of great use, especially in African countries. And when we talk about the top markets for Pakistan's agriculture machinery, so basically we are exporting to Afghanistan and several African countries, and these African countries include Botswana and South Africa as well, which are the major export destinations for Pakistan's agriculture machinery exports. When we look at the export share of major products of Pakistan, we see that Pakistan exports about 65% of tractors. The share of tractors is about 65% in total exports of agriculture machinery of Pakistan. The total exports of agriculture machinery in the last fiscal year, that is fiscal year 21, was about 51 million US dollars. And in that, about 65% were tractors that are fully assembled tractors. Then 28% of these was parts, and these parts basically include accessories for the tractors, apart from the tractor engines. And the smallest part was of tools and implements, that is about 7%. And these tools and implements basically include plows, disc harrows, and combine harvesters, etc., that we're exporting to our major export destinations. So that is the export performance of Pakistan over the past 5 years. And you can see that Pakistan has been gradually boosting its exports in terms of agriculture machinery. And we have been able to expand our exports to about 50 million US dollars in the previous year. And now towards the first part of my presentation, which deals with tractor and tractor parts. Tractors are the major export of Pakistan when it comes to agriculture machinery. The major cluster of tractors exists in Lahore and Karachi, where we have several tractor manufacturing companies that exist in these cities. And they are basically manufacturing Massey Ferguson and New Holland tractors. We have the largest manufacturer of tractor in Pakistan is Miller Tractors, that has an export volume of about 9 million US dollars. Apart from that, Pakistan has internationally certified tractors that it is exporting to its neighboring countries and also to Africa. And the major export of tractors includes basically the tractors in the HS code 870190, which is tractors excluding pedestrian and road tractors. Apart from that, tractors which are used for freight carrying, such as road tractors, are also amongst the major export of Pakistan. But the good news is that Pakistan has also started exporting about 50 to 85 HP tractors as well, and that is why our tractor exports have rapidly increased over the past year. So Pakistan, as I've already mentioned, that Pakistan has been exporting, the major export of Pakistan in terms of agriculture machinery are tractors, and more than 90% they constitute about 90% of Pakistan's total agriculture machinery exports in 2021. That includes both tractors and tractor parts. Now, in the last year, out of the total export of 51 million US dollars of agriculture machinery, about 47 million US dollars worth of tractors were exported. And that was an expansion of about 74% over the previous year, because in the last year, in the last fiscal year, we exported tractors worth 27 million US dollars. However, in fiscal year 21, we exported tractors about US dollar 47 million worth. So basically, there was an expansion because we have started exporting tractors from 50 to 85 HP to African countries and Afghanistan as well. The biggest success of Pakistan in its tractor industry is that Pakistan has achieved about 90% localization of tractors, especially when we talk about Millet Tractors, which is the largest manufacturer of tractors and agriculture machinery in Pakistan. It has achieved about 90% localization. Only some parts of our engines that we're using in tractors are being imported from several countries such as Turkey and China. The rest of the tractor is being assembled and manufactured within Pakistani units. And we produced about 51,000 units of tractors in the previous year. About 10,000 of these tractor units were exported to Afghanistan and Africa. Because of the localization and indigenization that we have achieved in Pakistan, we have some of the lowest priced tractors in the world. When we compare it with India and other countries with whom we have a lot of competition in terms of agriculture machinery, we can see that we are offering tractor prices which are at least 3,000 to 4,000 US dollars less as compared to these countries. So that is the total tractor production of Pakistan during the past 20 years. And you can see that we have rapidly expanded our tractor production. We have a total manufacturing capacity of around 71,000 units. And in the previous year, we produced about 51,000 units of tractors. As far as the brands and models of tractors are concerned, Pakistan as yet does not have any local brand, but we are producing international brands and under the license from these companies. And the major international brands that we are basically producing and exporting to our export destinations include Massey Ferguson, which is being produced by Millet Tractors. Then there is New Holland, which is being produced by Al Ghazi Tractors. Apart from that, Belarus Tractors is being produced in very small proportions as well. And the most commonly manufactured tractors are within the range of 50 to 100 HP. So this is the range of Massey Ferguson tractors that are being manufactured in Pakistan. They range from 50 HP to 85 HP based upon their engine horsepower. The top tractor exporters of Pakistan include Millet tractors, and Millet has a share of about 60% when it comes to exports. However, in terms of manufacturing, it has a share of about 70% in the total manufacturing of tractors in Pakistan. The other companies include Elixir, Farmac, Agricole, and Adian Enterprises. These are our major export destinations for tractors, and they include Afghanistan, apart from these, and African countries. In African countries, we have Botswana, which is the third major export destination for Pakistan's tractors, and South Africa, which is the fifth largest export destination for Pakistan's tractors. As you can see from these numbers, that in case of South Africa, we have doubled our exports in the previous year. And in fiscal year 20, our exports were about 1.25 million US dollars, but now they are 2.7 million US dollars. And that is mainly, again, because of the reason that we have started exporting fully assembled tractors to these countries. And our exports to Afghanistan also have doubled over the previous year. So that is the import trend of tractors by Pakistan. And you can see that Pakistan is now reliant upon locally manufactured tractors when it comes to the local market. Pakistan is not importing tractors for local use. However, what it is importing are basically engines in completely knockdown kits or semi-knockdown kits. So that is what shows up in its import bill. And these engine parts are being used for the manufacturing of tractors. So that is the reason that during the past 5 years, we have reduced our import bill by about 100 million US dollars. So the second part of my presentation deals with tools and implements, which are being manufactured in Pakistan. In terms of tools and implements, Pakistan is not producing very high technology tools and implements, but still the combine harvesters and the other seeders, loaders that Pakistan is producing are being exported to many countries across the world, especially to African countries. And the largest exporter is Elixir Enterprises, which has an export volume of about 0.3 million US dollars. And the major HS codes that Pakistan is exporting include 8432 and 8433. They are basically plows and harvesting machinery. And in the previous fiscal year, our export volume was about 4.8 million US dollars in case of implements and machinery. So these are some of the major machineries, tools and implements that we are exporting to other African countries. So that is the export trend of Pakistan during the past 5 years. And you can see that Pakistan's exports are around 4.5 million US dollars. The top markets for implements again are the same as they are for tractors. And you can see that our top markets include Afghanistan and several African countries. And these are the top exporters of tools and implements of Pakistan. And they mainly include Elixir Enterprises. Then there is Agripark International, Akil Bulla, Ali Corporation, and Millet Tractors. We have also been joined by these companies in today's session. Now in the last part of this presentation, we come towards the agriculture machinery trade with South Africa and Botswana. And as I've already mentioned, that Pakistan has more than doubled its exports of tractors to South Africa in the previous fiscal year. In the previous fiscal year, our exports of tractors to South Africa were about 2.7 million US dollars. And that was a great increase from 1.25 million US dollars from fiscal year 20. And now South Africa is the fifth largest export destination for Pakistan's tractors. As far as the tools are concerned, in tools and implements, we exported about 0.68 million worth of as far as the tractors are concerned, we exported about 0.68 million worth of tractors that were fully assembled tractors from 50 HP to 100 HP. And that is the major reason that Pakistan was able to successfully expand its exports to South Africa. Now, when we come towards Botswana, Pakistan also has expanded its exports to Botswana in terms of agriculture machinery. In case of tractors, our exports of tractors to Botswana are more than 5.29 million US dollars, and there is an expansion from the previous fiscal year. In case of implements, again, Pakistan's exports are around 0.4 million US dollars. So basically, Botswana is a major market for Pakistan's agriculture machinery, tools and implements, and tractors. And in case of Botswana, Pakistan has even more market share as compared to India, which is its top competitor. So I would say that there exists a huge trade potential between Pakistan and South Africa. However, this trade potential needs to be explored, and for which steps need to be taken. Thank you. That is all from my side.
Thank you, Kashmala. Thank you for a very well made presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you for informing us about the production capacity in Pakistan, which is very important for the audience to know. Well, actually, I also have some information about the South African market, but I think I would request straight away Madam Alia to share the information with us. And meanwhile, all the participants, Madam Alia, are we comfortable with Urdu if the participant would like to know the information in Urdu?
Humaira, is not a problem. I speak in Urdu, but I got a lot of audience from South Africa,
Okay.
and they would like to hear in English. So I don't know, it's depend of your audience as well. I
Okay.
can speak Urdu or English both.
Okay. So I think we can continue in English, but from the audience participating, joining us today from Pakistan, if they think that they cannot understand something or it is hard for them to get an information in English, they can, at the end of the session, they can ask for that information again. आप बिला झिझक के, अगर आपको कुछ लगता है कि आपको समझ नहीं आया है, बगैर किसी झिझक के आप अपना रेज योर हैंड आखिर में, और फिर आप वो क्वेश्चन पूछेगा. हम आपको एक नहीं, 2 मरतबा नहीं, 3 मरतबा वो इन्फॉर्मेशन जिसमें आप उर्दू में कंफर्टेबल है, हम आपको वो बता देंगे. थैंक यू सो मच. जी आलिया, if during the session अगर हमारे पास टाइम बचा तो I'll also share information about the South African market, but I think it's better we let the guest speaker and the expert speaker to speak on the subject. जी Madam Alia, thank you.
First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Mazhar, Humaira, Kashmala, each and everyone who is participating in this webinar, and all the audience. Thank you very much to choose me as a guest speaker. Look, we all learning from all our life, so I can't say I'm the expert, but I'll try my best to give the background of South African agriculture. So before we start the machinery side, I want to give a little introduction of South Africa agriculture. So as we all know, that apartheid demolished, after that the BEE, Black Empowerment, took place in South Africa. And they is a small farm workers. They got the land and they start farming, but they're not well trained and they're not well equipped, and they need a lot of support. So we basically uplift and empowering BEE, Black Empowerment, small holding farm owners. That is the base of our conversation, which I need to discuss today. There is a huge opportunities in South African agriculture, which Pakistan can play a major role. I want to inform all our distributor or manufacturer in Pakistan, there is no manufacturing right now in South Africa. There is no 0% manufacturing of tractor and tractor tools. 176 dealers, they got the franchises here, or they got dealerships here. They are importing from all over the world, from every corner of the world. So we got a very good ground. If we think about that, we can put the manufacturing plant in South Africa to produce agriculture machinery in South Africa. You can make your parts in Pakistan, you can assemble in South Africa. South Africa is a hub, and you can supply all neighboring countries. It's going to cost you much cheaper, more relevant on this term. We got the different contract between our African countries, and we can help them with our production. So the government of South Africa, agriculture, the Minister of Agriculture, they all offering you a good offer. They can provide you land, they can provide you all the facilities. If you are thinking to bring your machinery plant, assemble the machinery in South Africa, is better. Our farmer, as I discussed, the BEE farmer, Black Empowerment farmer, that are the most land they owns now. So they are in the starting stage. They can't afford to buy a tractor, but they can hire. So is not about the manufacture in South Africa, it's about the services also provide and the hiring process also. So if we target the small holding farm holder, so we can provide the tractors, services, and hiring system. Because is a lack of artisan people or skilled labor, we got a huge market for our skilled people also in South Africa, because the farmer, they can hire our tractor, but they don't have the skill to drive, right? And in whole African continent, there is no manufacturing. So you actually got no competition. There is no monopoly in this field. Everybody is importing. So if you want to export from Pakistan to South Africa, yes, you can still do it, but you're gonna have to compete with the 176 companies. But if you go to manufacture in South Africa, you're the only one. And our government, our South African government, able to give you the facilities. We're talking about Swaziland, and in 2007, Swaziland put the production plant in, and they start manufacturing tractors and all the parts and everything, but they couldn't come right with that. Throughout the Africa, if it's come for agriculture, tractors, machinery, heavy machinery, the government give most of the time the grant, or UN give the grant. And unfortunately, they couldn't use on the right way. So that plant only work out a few months, and then it's a standstill. After that, nobody come and put this business, this industry on feet. So that is a very good opportunity for our Pakistani, because I know the Pakistan is very good in machineries and is getting more and more and more every day. They're adding up. That is so proud. We have so proud feeling our Pakistan can do so much in machinery side. I would like to say, if you're gonna export tractor from Pakistan to South Africa, maybe you're gonna do 200 tractors or 300, say 1,000 tractors a year. But if we manufacture or assemble tractors and the parts, and we can provide services, we can hiring option, we can give, we got no competition. Then we can supply all over Africa. We got Mahindra. Mahindra is from Indian make. They are doing services, but not hiring and not manufacturing. So this is the complete open ground for us without any competition. If you still want to export the complete tractor, we can give the, I did make a presentation, which I can forward you afterward, and they can contact the dealers. But as I told you, it's a very high competition when it's come for import tractors in South Africa. So that is a golden opportunity for us. If we as a Pakistani manufacturer, if we can combine a joint venture, Pakistan and South Africa, we both countries can develop together. Your machinery knowledge, your labor, skilled labor, and our land, our ground, we can work together. We can control the whole Africa from South Africa. That is a very good opportunity here. We are working on that. Right now, we're busy one project from UAE. They need alpha grass from South Africa. Now, the people, they don't know what special specification they need for alpha, the animal feed. So our government offer them, we're gonna provide the ground, land, they're gonna bring their own machinery, own seed, own team, skilled team. They're gonna come to South Africa, they're gonna start growing alpha grass, animal feed in South Africa. That is an open offer for all of our agriculture field people. You can provide your machinery. If you want to grow something which you think South African ground is best for that, you are welcome for that. And if still you want to do the export from Pakistan, you are welcome to that. We can connect you up. We can give you the information of the dealers or who is the best dealer. And that Kashmala mentioned few names, same dealers working in South Africa as well. That the New Holland and Massey Ferguson, that is the best tractors is going. But tractor sale is not very high, because the people is more prefer, as I explained, that BEE, a small farm holder, they are very new in the field. They have the limited amount of the money. They can't invest in one tractor. This tractor they only use for 3 months or 5 months, and the rest of the time is stand one side. Our hiring proposal come in if we can hire out the tractors, which is a very good rate. I think I did write it down here. The hiring rate is about 200 and sorry, man, I'm gonna just tell you now. It's 240, and it's about $100 per hour, $80 per hour is the hiring rate of the tractor. So that is a very good opportunity for our millet tractors if they can lodge our manufacturing here, or assembling, or hiring. Okay, we don't talk about the assembling here, we talk about the hiring and service. So we can't only do the hiring, we have to do the services as well. So hiring and services mean we must have the skilled driver, a skilled technician. They must know what is happening in tractors, and that if we open the service centers here, we have the very good ground in here, Humaira. So yeah, this is the basic information about the South African market right now. And the proposal from the government, I can forward you as somebody is interested. There is a lot of facilities government offering. If you're gonna invest in South Africa, or you want to open up any skill work here. Even we have some exchange program for our students also. We want to send our students to Pakistan to learn the skill work, and we want Pakistani people to come in South Africa and learn. So this is also we need to mention. Plus we have the agri-tourism. Agri-tourism where we want our agriculture people must come visit South Africa, and they have to go around because all over in South Africa is agriculture. We can arrange the tours for them. They can come, they can go around, and obviously after that they can decide. So all the facilities we offering our audience or whoever is interested to work with South Africa. We give both way. You want to export from Pakistan, you welcome, or you want to do some investment or development or manufacturing in South Africa, also welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Alia. Thank you so much. Before we proceed with the question and answer, I would request the audience to write down their questions for Madam Alia if they have, or for Kashmala, and also. But before going to the question and answer session, I will share some information about the agriculture industry in South Africa as well. Through a research that we did, South African agriculture sector, as rightly pointed out by Madam Alia, it's dual in its phase, in its structure. So 1950s and 60s was the period when the 1960s was the period when the mechanization of the agriculture sector in South Africa started, and 70s was the period of their rapid growth. But they have a dual system. Dual system means you will also experience, as Madam's mentioned, BEE, small farmers, and also heavy mechanized commercial farming is also, large cooperatives also exist in South Africa, and subsistence farming also exists in South Africa. The agriculture sector is no doubt of very high quality. The produce is of export quality. We all know that South African citruses is at number 2 after Spain, and I think when Egypt took over it, they moved down to 3. But their production capacity of citruses, of fruits, of agrarian good, even when last year Pakistan also imported wheat from South Africa. So they have a very good quality of produce, both in terms of production number and also in terms of the quality. So 90% of the territory of South Africa is arid or semi-arid, and the purchase, the sale of tractors or implants go up and down mostly with the weather condition. Weather condition means barish, rain. It was because in 2016 there was a major drought and the sale of tractors heavily fall, but it is now again recovering. The heavy crisis experienced by this sector in 2015 and 16, and the sale declined involved 1,600 tractors, and but after that, in 2017 and onward, the country has been receiving good rain, and ever since that's why the tractors. So whenever you see the sale of tractors in South Africa or Botswana in these regions, it is directly correlated with the rain condition in the country. That's it about this. Now talking about, Madam rightly pointed out that the sector, the agricultural machinery sector is highly competitive. Italy, Germany, America, their brands from these three countries are highly in demand, and they are the ones that control or has a huge holding of the market. Beside this, South Africa, the agricultural equipment market has recorded a cumulative annual growth rate of around 6% in terms of revenue from 2012 to 2018. Basically, it has largely been in 17, not by 16, but 17 and 18. And it was fueled by increasing government subsidies for farm mechanization, as Madam mentioned, for the black-owned thing, and the 1 hour financing around, Madam mentioned, around $100 for an hour servicing on the farms. So this is the purchase of the tractor is fueled by the government services to mechanize the black-owned farms and the farms, not only the black, that of course was highly subsidized, and accommodative financing, and because of the rain, the usual or the general growth in the agriculture industry. So those were the factors that largely contributed in it. On duty side, I would like to mention, Madam mentioned.
Yeah. I can mention, Humaira, I want to come on that point while you're speaking. So there is no duty on import of a tractor or the equipment, farming equipment, because there's no competition, local competition. There's no local manufacturing, so there's no duty. Only we got the value additional tax, VAT, which is 15%, all the tractors and equipment.
Madam, the harvesting, there were 2 tariff lines that were mentioned by parts and accessories of tractors. I looked at the custom schedule issued by SARS. There on the parts and accessories of tractors, you rightly mentioned, majority of the parts related to the duties are on 0, but parts and accessories for tractors has 20% on MFN. Pakistan faces MFN. Then on 8433 HS code that Kashmala mentioned, on that we face 20%. And agriculture, and 8432 agriculture, horticultural, forestry machinery for soil preparation, that is duty free. And you rightly mentioned that it's just then they face VAT, value added tax, which is 15%. Machines for cleaning, sorting, grading, also 0%. Presses, crushers, and similar machinery also on zero duty. And machinery for preparing and making up tobacco is also on 0%.
I want to add up, sorry, Humaira, I want to add up here the machinery. We have the higher demand on tractor and that, and with the mining equipment as well. There is a high demand of mining machinery as well.
Mining machinery, okay. Okay, thank you, Madam, for adding that. There are some trade-related bodies in South Africa. Some of the prominent include South African Agricultural Machinery Association, which is the official body, and it represents new agricultural machinery manufacturers, importers, and builders. And credit and financial assistance, it's also extended by the government. Then Land and Agriculture Development Bank of South Africa, Micro Agriculture Financial Institute of South Africa. There is Agri BEE Fund. Then there is Agri South Africa, Agriculture Business Chamber, and then Transvaal Agriculture South Africa Union. These are some of the Agriculture Research Council as well. So these are some of the institutions that protect the interests of the agriculture sector in the country. I would request now the participants, if they have any questions, they can ask their questions, please. Floor is open for questions, answers. I will share the report. I will share the report with Kashmala, and Kashmala it will share it with the participants from Pakistan side. But if there are
Yeah.
any questions from Pakistani participants, they are most welcome, or from anyone participating, even from South Africa, are most welcome to ask questions. Madam, we have Madam and Ji.
Humaira, I can provide you some more details. Then you can share with these people. There is more context of the companies, and there is more dealership, the dealer peoples. I will send you one article. You can share with this Pakistani peoples, right?
Okay, so you have the dealership, like those who import machinery or
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much.
I will send you some details.
Okay, thank you, madam. That's very kind.
And I can give you the answer in Urdu if anybody I want to question in Urdu, na?
जी जी, थैंक यू। अगर आप में से कोई कुछ पूछना चाहता है, फील फ्री, और आप बिला झिझक के कोई भी सवाल पूछ ली। जी, सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग है मेरे ख्याल में, एग्री। जी पूछिए। जी सर पूछिए।
Hi, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
So we're Agrimon Industrial Group, and we've recently had a very terrible experience with shipping our own product from Pakistan into UAE. So I personally went to the shipment and took care of the process and everything. And what we found was that when we shipped from Pakistan into UAE our own product directly, the packaging was done properly. Everything was it was a brand new shipment. And by the time it reached to us, the packaging was completely torn. There was damages on the product itself. And we were told that this was done by the customs agents in Pakistan from the export port, because the customs officers during the import in UAE did not touch it until we were there. So we're very sure it was done from the customs agents in Pakistan. What are the steps that you will be ensuring that this does not happen again? Because it's not like they're going to reimburse us because of the damages done to our product or the packaging of it. Because if we honestly had sent that directly to our customer refused to receive that shipment because it was completely damaged. So what are the steps that we can take or that you will be taking to ensure that doesn't happen?
Thank you, sir. I would request, I will share my email address here, and also we have Kashmala Javed from TDAP. Such trade-related dispute issues are resolved by TDAP and TDRO, Ministry of Commerce. It is a very good point. Do send me, if I could receive an email from your office, that would be very kind. I'll take it up with the Ministry of Commerce and TDAP. Usually, we do not receive. It is very rare for us to receive such information, but I cannot deny the fact that we do not receive these. We do receive them, and we resolve trade disputes. So I would request if you could send us, and my apologies, I mean, you have to face that at customs.
Yeah, we do have pictures of the shipment before it left and when we received it. So I'll be happy to share those images with you.
So images and 2 or 3 paragraph on what happened and the process. So it will help us to take it up with the custom authorities.
Sure, thank you.
Kashmala, do we have Kashmala here? Kashmala?
Yes, ma'am. I would request Mr. Kashif to kindly share, if that is Mr. Kashif from Agrimont Industries, to share whatever the issue is with me. I will share my email address as well, and I will discuss it with my seniors.
Thank you, Kashmala. Do we have any other question? Let me also mention the information that we will upload this. We are recording this and we will upload it on the official YouTube channel of the Trade Commission, which is Trade Commission of Pakistan, Johannesburg. I will share the link of the video if somebody want to revisit and see the information, who want to go through the information again. No other questions?
I just like to share some information here, Humaira. There is a big sale of second-hand tractors in South Africa as well, and I can share some prices with you. Okay. Like New Holland T90 2016 model, you can get $23,000 US, the second-hand tractor price.
Okay.
Then the New Holland T580 4x2 2001, that is also 23,000 US dollar. That is a second-hand one. And John Deere 9460 is 245,000 US dollar. Right. So this is some this thing. And the Mahindra tractors 8560, which is 18,500 US dollar. And they're all second-hand tractors.
Okay, so
But-
I think, Madam, for the
Yeah.
participant, it is important to know that there is also scope for the export of second-hand tractors to South Africa as well. I think it is for
Yes.
the
Yes.
affordability point of view, those who can
Yes.
afford. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes. No, that is a big market of the second-hand tractor. As I mentioned, the farmer don't use the tractor the whole year. You
Ji,
only 4 to 5, 6 months, maybe the most.
ji.
So the time the tractor stand. Now there is a time where farmer want to invest in the second-hand tractors because they save money. So there is all the big brand they have second-hand tractor available. The huge demand we have is the parts.
Parts.
The part is the agriculture machinery parts is in huge demand. Is
Okay.
always the shortage.
Okay.
It is a very big market for the tractors parts.
Okay.
That is a very big market.
Tractor
Right.
provider, they have a question. G.
Hello, Ms. Alia, how are you? Thank you so much for the useful information that you have given us. It was a
you.
pleasure to be part of this meeting. My name is Hirazi, and I'm Director Marketing from Tractor Provider. We have been in, actually, we are based in Japan. We have our presence in all over Africa. Since 2000, I think 1 or 2002, we started from Zimbabwe, Zambia. Then we moved on to Tanzania, Mozambique. So Africa is not new for us, alhamdulillah. And I can say that we can understand what you're saying at the moment, and we know the potential of the South African market. But there are certain things that we are interested in knowing before going ahead with any investment. Yes, we can import used from Japan. We can export used from Pakistan. We can export new from Pakistan. We have exported Massey Ferguson, Kubota, New Holland, all types of tractors. The problem is being sustainable in the market when it comes to the local labor and the rules and regulations. You know, when you're hiring local labor over there, we need to know how skillful is it. Do we need to take our staff from Pakistan to the African region? Because there are a lot of other things that are involved. Yes, it is a potential market, but everything has its own hurdles, and we have gone through, so I have a bit of idea about that. So I really want to if you want to go ahead with it, to first we will have a look at the proposal, inshallah, and then we can have a meeting. I can ask Ms. Kashmala or the concerned person if we can sit on serious terms and talk about it.
Okay, thank you very much. As far as my information, because I spoke some senior leaders in the country. We call them chief. Chief is kind of the person, he actually control the area, certain areas land. And the chief is the one you can speak to them, and they speak direct to the government. So the skilled labor is very few. I can honestly tell you, if you are planning to invest in South Africa, you have to bring your skilled labor, your artisan people here to train our people. We will get the local labor for you. Labor rate is affordable, is not very high. Plus, I will advise you in the project also is mentioned. I will give you the detail. If we are nearby, closer by Durban port, because that is a port where you need to import all your raw material or parts or whatever. So distance shouldn't be very far away from our port. So we got two major ports, Durban port and Richards Bay, where you can import your goods and is easily transport from the port to your destination. Your labor, your skilled labor, you have to bring the team, which can we, our learners, our laborers, prepare to learn from you people. That is our main point in South Africa. We want to give our services and we are prepared to learn. Our new generation, our youth, they're coming out from the education departments, colleges, universities, they are prepared to learn. That is why I mentioned earlier on to Humaira, Pakistan is blessed with the machinery skilled people. We need the help in that field. We got the land, we got the agriculture. Our agriculture, as Humaira mentioned, is world of the best citrus is come from Western Cape. The world best wine, we don't use that wine, but the other people use the wine, is come from second biggest producer is South Africa. And we are manufacturing the halal champagne, halal wine as well, which is alcohol restricted. So we have the big ground, we have the big labor also available, but skilled labor you have to provide yourself. And you know the market of Africa, and you know that if you start invest in South Africa, you can control, you can cover all sub-Sahara African countries, or northern or western or central, all African countries you can control from South Africa. That is a very good opportunity. We can discuss further on that. After this meeting, I can connect you up with the right people, which you can sit down and make the proper proposal. That is actually going to be good for Pakistan and South Africa, both people. And the main support is our Black empowerment, small farm holder, and that is the best business we're going to get. As I mentioned, bring your skilled labor, provide the services, provide the hiring, then you must see there is a huge ground. You got no competition. You only have a competition in import. You got no competition is a local production. And what are we planning to demand from our government? The minute our production, the local production gonna start in South Africa, we're gonna demand our government to put the taxes on import tractors. Because there's no monopoly, there is no local production, so there's no duty. The minute we're gonna start production here, the first demand we're gonna put in the government, put some duty on the tractors. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Madam Alia, and thank you, Hira Azim. Thank you, everyone. I think we do not have any further questions. We will share the information with Kashmala to onward share it with the Pakistani participants. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today and listening us. And if you have any questions, queries, do let us know through our email addresses and any further information. Thank you, Madam Alia. I'm really grateful you join us.
No problem.
Your time
No
to
problem.
educate us on the market, this specific market. Grateful to His Excellency Dr. Mazhar Javed also for joining us today. So enjoy your day and thank you once again, everyone.
I want to say something, Humaira, before we go off from this meeting. मेरा जो मेन मकसद है, मैं उर्दू में एक तो जुमला बोलना बनता है। मेरा मेन मकसद इस मीटिंग में आने का जो मेन मकसद है वो यह है कि हम अपनी लेडीज को, अपनी फीमेल को आगे लेके आए, चाहे वो एग्रीकल्चर की फील्ड हो, चाहे जो भी हो, empower the women all over the world. शुक्रिया.
Thank you. Of course, we today, those officers who represented us from TDAP, Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, were two lady officers, Kashmala and Shumaila. They're indeed very brilliant officers. And thank you. You are our guest speaker today is also a lady. We are proud of having you, of course.
Proud of, yes.
Of course.
And yes.
Very good to listen to Hira Azim, somebody who works, the macho sector. The
labor
is very macho sector. When you look at sectors, they are not feminine from any perspective.
That's the thing. We need to break this mentality. The women can't do that. Women can do everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Kashmala, for your presentation. And thank you, Dr. Shumaila, also for joining us from TDAP Karachi. Thank you, TDAP in general. Trade Development Authority of Pakistan helps us a lot at different form and level. And they are the body that organizes the Pakistan-Africa Trade Development Conference, and now are organizing the second in the series in Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you, ma'am, for collaborating with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Kashmala.